You know, AI is already changing just about everything. But when we talk about Web3, it's not just about making things faster. It's about a complete rethink of how power and control actually work. Today, we're going to dive deep into a project called Quack AI that's trying to do something pretty wild: automate the very core of decentralized governance.
So, right off the bat, we've got a massive question to tackle. Can you really hand the keys over to an AI to run something as complex and, frankly, as human as governance? It's a huge idea, and it leads to an even bigger, more provocative question.
I mean, really think about this. Could a DAO, a decentralized autonomous organization, genuinely operate all on its own without a human needing to step in all the time? Well, that's the bleeding edge we're looking at today. And this one project, Quack AI, is basically saying, yeah, we think we've cracked it.
All right, so what's the actual promise here? What is Quack AI trying to build behind all the hype? Because the vision, let me tell you, goes way beyond just launching another crypto token. We're talking about a fundamental change in how DAOs get things done.
Okay, so at its heart, Quack AI is an AI-powered layer for governance. But here's the key thing you got to get. This isn't just some simple voting tool. The goal is to create a whole infrastructure of autonomous agents that can talk directly to smart contracts. It's all about cutting out the friction and seriously boosting efficiency.
The whole process really breaks down into 3 simple stages. First, its AI agents can automatically create governance proposals. Then, step 2, they can crunch the numbers and evaluate the risks involved. And finally, and this is the really cool part, they can execute the approved decisions directly on the blockchain. It's a full circle, from idea to action, completely automated.
Let's pop the hood for a second and look at the core architecture. You can see the main pillars right here. You've got the autonomous AI agents, the automated risk checks, and, super important, the ability to execute actions across different blockchains. It even uses something called token-based identity. Think of them like non-transferable digital IDs to build up reputation. But the real magic, the secret sauce, is how it combines all of this. It's not just AI that thinks, it's AI that does.
Okay, so that's the technical vision. It sounds impressive, right? But you know how it is in crypto. Ideas are one thing, market reality can be a whole other beast. So let's jump into the hard data as of March 2026 and see what story the numbers are telling us. If we rewind back to 2025, during that crazy speculative run, the token hit its all-time high of about 28 cents. This was peak hype, peak excitement. But fast forward to today and whoa, it's a very different picture. The price is sitting at just 2 cents. This is that classic crypto story, isn't it? A massive run-up fueled by speculation, followed by a heavy, heavy correction. And this chart just lays it all out there. I mean, look at that gap. That huge drop from the 2025 peak to where we are now tells you everything you need to know about the market's journey here, from a speculative bubble to the hard search for real, lasting value.
So let's zoom out and check the vital stats. We're looking at a market cap in the tens of millions, which is decent, but with a massive max supply of 10 billion tokens. And it's in the AI and big data sector, which, let's be honest, is a space known for exactly the kind of wild price swings we just saw.
This brings us to the really critical questions, the ones about long-term survival. A cool vision and a crazy price history are interesting, but we need to dig deeper. What are the real risks and challenges hiding under the surface? Because for any project like this, long-term value doesn't just come from hype, it has to come from real use. We're talking about actual DAOs plugging this thing in and using it, real growth in the ecosystem, and a super careful balancing act between demand for the token and the sell pressure from new tokens hitting the market. And yeah, we absolutely have to talk about token unlocks. With a big supply like this, those vesting schedules are everything. Unlocks can create huge sell pressure. How the tokens were handed out at the beginning can make or break things down the line. Any serious analysis has to zoom in on this stuff. So all of this, the tech, the token, the risks, it all boils down to the single most important question you can ask. Forget the price for a minute. Is anyone actually using this technology? Because without real adoption, the tech is just a cool science project. It doesn't capture any value. The numbers that really truly matter are things like how many DAOs are using it, how many proposals are flowing through the system, are the AI agents actually busy? These are the metrics that separate a cool story from a real utility. So what's the path forward from here? The vision is huge, no doubt about it. But the future? That depends completely on execution. Let's see what their roadmap says about turning this big idea into a reality.
Okay, their roadmap for 2026 is pretty ambitious. They're pushing to expand to more chains and fine-tune their risk engines. But what's really interesting to me is their plan to go after institutional DAOs. That's a huge signal they're aiming for bigger, more serious customers. And exploring real-world assets? That shows they're hustling to find that all-important product-market fit. If they actually nail this, the best-case scenario is massive. Quack AI could become the default, the go-to standard for how you do automated governments in Web3, a core piece of infrastructure for the entire space.
A more neutral, but still pretty good, outcome is that it carves out a niche for itself. Maybe it doesn't take over the world, but it could find solid, sustainable adoption in certain specific markets and do very well there.
And then, of course, there's the other side of the coin. The AI hype train could lose steam. And if those key adoption numbers we talked about just don't show up, the project could struggle to get any real traction and just fade away. It's a risk every single project in this space faces.
So how in the world are we supposed to process all of this? Look, the goal here isn't to give you a simple buy or sell call. It's to equip you with a solid framework so you can do your own thorough professional analysis.
And this is that framework. To really evaluate Quack AI, or any project for that matter, you have to connect all these dots. The tech, the tokenomics, the real adoption data, the competition, it all matters. For an infrastructure play, success isn't just about one thing. It's about getting all of these pieces to work together to create real, sustainable value.
At the end of the day, Quack AI is painting a really compelling picture of what Web3 governance could look like. But as we've seen, a great vision is just the starting line. And that leaves us with the one question that matters most. It's not really if AI is going to transform governance, it's which project is actually going to be the one to turn that powerful vision into something we all actually use.